Hey, this is Moritz from Wolkify.com, and today I want to talk about upward and downward spirals. Okay, so what do I mean by that? Well, basically, as I mentioned before in previous videos, I'm a huge believer that whenever you engage in positive and good and healthy actions and habits, this will really build momentum for your life, and you will be able to move from one good habit, from one good action that you take to the next. So you just keep going up, you keep getting better. And every good habit sort of builds on the next. So you need to have one good habit to become better at the other, and vice versa. So they're kind of complementing each other. Well, conversely, you also have a lot of bad habits, and if you engage in those, they can actually lead towards a downward spiral. So if you engage in just one bad habit, let's say smoking, for example, that can lead to a number of other different bad habits that keep dragging you down even further. So you start with one, but it doesn't stop with one, it just keeps building up. So whether you choose good or bad habits, whether you engage in good or bad habits, whether you interact with good or bad friends, for example, really makes a big difference in your life and where you're going with your life. So I really try to stress this point of engaging in good habits versus bad habits, not only for the sake of that one particular habit that you're engaging in, but also for the sake of all the other habits that follow up on that one habit. So let me give you an example. Real world example, last Thursday night I went to sleep pretty late. Now, I just started working with a regular job, 9 till 5, regular salary, kind of office job, a couple of months ago. So I'm still trying to get used to it, but I try to go to bed quite early because I know if I don't, the next day will not be as productive as I want it to be. So usually I go to bed between 11 and 12, but last Thursday I didn't manage to. For some reason I couldn't just go to bed, I stayed up late, and I went to bed between 1 or 2, I think. So I probably watched a movie or whatever, just wasting time basically. I should have gone to sleep, but I didn't, and this is one bad thing that I did. Now, most people would say, okay, whatever, you went to sleep a little later than usually, what a big deal, right? But actually, what I noticed is that from that one quite tiny mistake that I made in how I planned my day and how I structure my day, it turned out to have a number of bad effects on the day after and even the days after. So let me describe what happened the next day. I woke up and I was quite tired. I only slept like 5 hours. So I went to work, and after work I planned to go to the gym. I usually go to the gym right after work at 5 p.m. But it was Friday and everybody was in a good mood and everybody was like, hey, let's go for a beer instead. Let's go to an after work. And usually I have the willpower in these circumstances to say no, have my priorities in order, know why I want to go to the gym and why this is important to me, and maybe more important than having a beer on a Friday afternoon. But because I was so tired, I could feel that my willpower was depleted, more depleted than usually after work. So because I only slept 5 hours and then I worked for 9 hours, at 5 p.m. my willpower was so depleted that I said, okay, screw the gym, whatever, I'm gonna miss one day in the gym and I'm gonna go have a beer with my colleagues instead. Now, again, this itself is not a bad thing. I mean, there's nothing wrong with having one beer with your colleagues, not at all. That's not my point. But my point is that usually I would not have gone because I knew that I wanted to go to the gym. But my willpower was depleted, so I said, okay, well, whatever, let's have a beer. So I went with my colleagues and I had this one beer, and I could already feel after one beer that I was getting a little woozy. I was getting actually a little tipsy. Kind of embarrassing to admit after one beer, especially as a German. But you know, I didn't sleep much, I worked a lot, and I was tired, and this one beer already went straight to my head. So after an hour, I went home and wanted to cook for myself before going out later. So I had the plan of like cooking a good healthy meal, you know, as I try to usually. But that day I was a little drunk, a little tipsy at least when I went home with the subway, and I was like, you know, Moritz, you deserve to not cook healthy today. You've earned that. You've been eating healthy all the last couple of months. So, you know, today's gonna be your day off. And I went into the supermarket and I bought a frozen pizza. Now, this is something taken by itself, not really bad, you know. You can have a frozen pizza every once in a while. I don't think it's healthy. I don't think it should be part of your like regular diet, but every once in a while, you know, whatever. But taken in combination with like not sleeping enough, drinking a beer, and now it's already eating an unhealthy frozen pizza. So I got this pizza and made it at home. I ate it and actually realized how disgusting frozen pizza is. I haven't been eating any instant food, any frozen food for 6 months before, so I forgot how disgusting it is. But that one pizza reminded me, and I still ate it, obviously, because, you know, you don't throw away food, and once it's already there, you're like, you know, maybe it doesn't taste as good as I thought it would be in my head, but then again, who am I to throw it out, right? So I ate the frozen pizza, and I was lying on my bed, still a little bit drunk actually, eating the fucking frozen pizza with the fat dripping down, and I started watching a movie, and I thought, okay, you know, it's Friday, you've earned that. You deserve to chill every once in a while, Moritz. So I chilled and I ate my fucking frozen pizza, dripping fat and whatnot, lying on my bed like a fucking lazy motherfucker, and watched a movie and actually fell asleep while watching the movie and eating the pizza. So I didn't even finish the pizza, I didn't finish the movie, I just fell asleep there. And I woke up at 10 p.m. and I wanted to go out with friends and wanted to meet up with them. So I got ready like really quickly because I overslept and was like rushing out, and I felt still kind of bad because of the beer. I got like a slight hangover, not hangover, but like a headache. You know what I mean? Like after one beer and then falling asleep. You feel a little bad. You don't feel like you're really on top of your shit. You're not on point, you know? And that's how I met up with my friends. And they were all like, woo, it's Friday night, let's go out, let's have some fun, let's meet some people, let's hit the club, let's dance, let's enjoy the music. And I was like, ugh, god damn it, I ate the disgusting pizza, I drank the beer, I'm still tired, I kind of want to go home and sleep. So I was not in a good mood, not in the kind of mood that I want myself to be in and that I try to put myself into almost all the time. So even though it was Friday night, usually I'm like super excited. If Friday comes along, I'm like ready to go, motherfucker. I'm ready to hit it hard for 2 days straight during the weekend. But not this Friday. And as you can see, it all can be linked to the day before when I went to sleep too late. So that was just one thing I did wrong, but one thing that maybe wasn't like the best thing for me to do, and it led to all these other different bad decisions that I made, all these other bad choices that led to me being a little worse than I was usually. A little worse, just a little bit. But imagine if you keep engaging in these kind of habits throughout years and years and maybe even decades of your life. Imagine the downward spiral that comes with that. So this is kind of what I want to share with you today. Think about the habits that you have in your life and think about whether they contribute to an upward spiral that make you improve yourself, that make you feel better every single day, and that incrementally help you to become the kind of person you want to be. Or are you engaging in habits that are part of a larger downward spiral? Are you engaging in habits that make you feel a little worse, just a little more lazy, a little more tired, a little less engaged? If these are the habits that you have in your life, try to get rid of them, because they lead to more bad habits. They lead to more shit that just drags you down and holds you back. Don't engage in them. Be part of the upward spiral, and talk to you next time.